Hi everyone, today we're going to do lesson 3. We're going to be looking at the midpoint of a line segment. So far we've done the distance, and now we're going to look at the halfway point or the midpoint of a line. So let's first start with a horizontal line here, and let's just talk a little bit about this. So we have line AB here. The sort of simplest way to do it is to count. And again, this line would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if the whole distance is 8, the halfway distance would be 4. Right there, 4. However, we're interested in the coordinates of the halfway point, which is right here, and the coordinates are going to be, well, let's look at the coordinates. So if the coordinate of A here is 1, 3. Let me write that in here. 1, 3. And the coordinates of B are going to be 6, 7, 8, 9, 3. Well, then all I have to do is add 4 to 1 to get 5, 3 for the coordinate. Okay, the y coordinate does not change, and halfway between 1 and 9 is 5. Okay, the quick way to do that is just to get the average of the two coordinates. So if coordinate is 1, how do we get average of anything? We add everything up and divide it by the number of however many there are. So if we want to add $5 plus $3 plus $1, we're going to get, let me do another one here, plus maybe do 7. Okay, we're going to get, that's 16. Okay, but the average is going to be 16 divided by 4, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4 items or whatever it is. So it's $4. Okay, so if 4 people have this amount of money, all of them have an average of $4 per person. Okay, so let's use that same concept to calculate the midpoint. Well, 1 and 9, 1 plus 9, we're going to divide it by 2 because there are two things. That's 10 over 2, and there you go. So it's not a very difficult concept. The midpoint is fairly straightforward. Obviously, the y coordinate's going to stay at 3, because if I go 3 plus 3 divided by 2, that's going to be 6 divided by 2. It's going to stay at 3. Okay, vertical line, the same thing. So we're going to have, let's look at the y coordinate here and the y coordinate here. The y coordinate here is -4. The y coordinate here is 6. So again, so -4 plus 6 divided by 2, and my answer is going to be 2 divided by 2 is going to be 1. So that is the y coordinate right over here. 1, 2, 3, 3, 1. Okay, and this is 3, 6, and this is 3, -4. All right, diagonal lines, it's just a combination of the two above. So let's do the same method we just did here. All right, so we have a point here and a point here. And again, let me go ahead and label these coordinates. So coordinate E here is going to be 2, 7, I think. And coordinate F is going to be -6, 7, 8, 9, 10, -10, -1. All right, now let me go ahead and get the midpoint. The midpoint's going to be, let's do the x midpoint first. So the midpoint's going to be somewhere here, x, y. And we can call that xm and ym to designate the midpoint. So let's go ahead and do this. So -10 plus 2 divided by 2, that's going to be xm, the midpoint for x, and for y, the midpoint for y, it's going to be -1 plus 7 divided by 2, and we're going to get -8 over 2. It's going to be -4, and 3 over here. So the coordinates are -4, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right here, and again -4, 3. All right, moving on. again, so this again, they give this to you in a formula here. The formula for midpoint, that's the x coordinate, that's the y coordinate. Little happy guy. If there we go. If again, you don't have to worry about memorizing this as long as you understand what is happening here. You just add the two coordinates and divide it by 2. So let's go ahead and do some problems here. Problem number 1. What's the midpoint of these line segments? Okay, well again, let's do the x midpoint and the y midpoint. So 4 plus 12 divided by 2 and 7 plus 3 divided by 2. So that one's going to be 5. That one's going to be 8. So the midpoint, make sure you always write it as a coordinate though. 8, comma 5. Do the x first just so because the x coordinate always comes first. Okay, you try that one. I'm going to skip over here. All right, now we got some, letters now, which can always throw people off. So no problem though. We're just going to do the same thing. So the midpoint of x is w plus 3 plus 5w minus 1, because that's the x coordinate. That can be x2. That's x1. I'll do the y's in red. Y1, y2. So, oh, I forgot the one thing here. Of course, we divided by 2. So then we're going to end up with 6w minus plus 2 over 2. And then we're going to factor out a 2 from the top. So it's going to be 3w plus 1 over 2. And the 2's cancel, so it's 3w plus 1. That's the x coordinate. And we do the y in red here. So 2w plus 7w plus 1 over 2, and I get, what is that, 9w plus 1, 9w plus 1 over 2, and I can't simplify that one because I can't factor anything out, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. However, I do have to write the coordinates out, and I'll do that in green. So it's 3w plus 1, comma 9w plus 1 over 2. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me just do this last one here. Ruby was doing a question in her coordinate geometry homework, and her little brother Max wrote over part of the question as a prank. Okay, calculate the missing coordinates. Okay, so we're missing, let's label this again. So this is going to be x2 and x, and y2, and this is going to be x1 and y1. That's the one we're missing, and the midpoint is going to be xm comma xy. Okay, no problem. We can do this. Okay, let's do x in blue. So we'll go, the midpoint of x is, just add the two together, x1 and x2, which are 5, plus negative 11 divided by 2 should equal xm, and that's the missing one there. So what do we get here? 5 minus 11 is negative 6, divided by 2 is negative 3. That would be there then, negative 3. So we solve that little part of the missing puzzle, missing homework, and then we also got to get y1, so we'll do that from y midpoint. The y midpoint, well, okay, so I'm missing y1, so I'll leave it as y1. That's the one I'm missing. Plus negative 10 over 2, and then they tell us what it is. It's negative 6. So we just have to solve for y1, which in this case would be y1 equals negative 12 plus 10, and I just move this over and move that over, and it's negative 2. Okay, so we start off at -2 there. All right, sweet. Thanks for watching, guys. This one was pretty quick, so we'll do this when we get to class, and then we got some other ones. What's the next lesson? We'll be looking ahead a little bit here. We're finally going to get into some slope, so that'll be next time. And okay, thanks for watching, and see you in class.